As I said in my title, this isn't a picking video. This is going to be a demonstration video, basically. Today, both, or not both, but Brett Sucks, Chris Capoon, and Lockchuck all picked their Chub Cruises using the homemade turning tools like this. But I'm going to show you what the inside of the cruiser looks like and what it looks like when you're picking it and the things you have to overcome while you're picking it. So we'll move over and put this beautiful Chub Cruiser that Steve Holder made for me in a vise, and we'll take a look inside. Before I begin, I want to mention Lockmania's Christmas lock giveaway. It's going on now. If you'll check out his channel, it gives you the rules on how to enter the contest. So good luck, Lockmania, and have a good turnout. Okay, I forgot to tell you or show you how these open up. Open up just like any other lock. And they have 5 levers inside each one. And there is a date on here, 9/89, so that's September of '89 that this Chub supposedly was made. And this was in 1997, so I can see on here, but I don't know what the month was. But put the key in here, we'll zoom in, and you can see how the key lifts up the levers. Here is the bolt right here. This whole back thing is the bolt, but this is what passes through the cutouts and the levers that throws the bolt that releases the shackle. So you can see that is what it does. Get in here. These are the slots that this part of the bolt has to go through in order to release the shackle. And let me move out a little bit. You can see the shackle right here and the bolt that's holding it. So you can see it move out of the way that allows you to unlock the lock there. And let's go back in again. And there are 5 levers just like this, stacked one behind the other, going all the way to the bolt here. And this is the pin that the hole in the key goes into. Here's the bitting, and you can see that this is offset. It's not in the middle. And you can see that the keyhole is offset too. All right. Now I'll demonstrate using the homemade turning tool and a homemade wire. And like I said, I'm not going to be picking this because one of the problems you can come across when you have cutouts made of pin tumble locks or lever locks is once the cover is removed and even put back on with bolts and nuts, the pressure isn't the same against the levers in here, or maybe even the pins in a pin tumbler. So it doesn't pick the same way as a lock that has not had the cover removed. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to pick this one, because not all the levers stay up. They'll keep on falling down because of the pressure. Now I did pick this one off camera once, and I tried maybe 7 or 8 times afterwards, and I couldn't get it done, but I did use the traditional pick wire. Okay, now this part, the tip here, is what turns the bolt back here. There's a slot, and let's see if we can see that. Okay, get a pointer and see if I can point it out. But there's a slot right here. You can see the pointer going in there. Well, the tip of the key here goes into that slot, fits into that slot. So does the turning tool here, which is basically a key cut down. But it goes inside that slot. There you go, you can see it. Point to it again. It's going in that slot and it's tensioning the bolt. And tensioning the bolt puts pressure on the lever stack. And hopefully that pressure will allow you, when you're picking the levers up, will make the levers stick up so that they will clear this. All 5 of them must be at a particular level to work. Let's see if I can This has fault skates in it, probably on most of them, of the levers. You can see here it's kind of hard to see. My lighting is not very good, but okay. See if I can show you a lever that does have fault skates in it. I'll have to stick the pick wire in there. But what they are, they're just notches. See if I can. Okay. It's hard to keep this up. But there's a little notch right underneath here that this can get caught in. Lift it up like that, and you can't turn the bolt. You have to release the pressure on the turning tool and let the lever fall down and try and pick it again without going too high and getting caught in that fault skate. And probably all of them do have a fault skate either at the bottom or at the top here. And then you have to avoid that while you're picking. And if you get into a fault skate, you'll definitely have to start all over again. It's very frustrating. So let's go ahead, engage the bolt, stick in the pick wire. And let's see if I can get out of the way a little bit here. And what I'm trying to do is lift every one of these levers up to the point where it goes into that slot right there and stays up and not fall down. And that's what you have to do. You just go up and down the stacks, lifting them up, hoping it will lock like that one just did. Go to the next one. Hope that locks. But now the one in the back fell. Number 1 isn't binding, but number 2 is binding. You go back to the stacks. And 4 bound for a second, number 2 bound, number 3 bound, but number 2 fell down. But you can, number 5 just fell down, but it's up. 4, it's up. You gotta feel this. 3, it's up, but now they fell down. But in a perfect world, you would eventually get all these lined up so that it does. Levers do stay up where they're supposed to, and the bolt does slide through. So that is what you're doing, and you're applying pressure, of course, on the turning tool, which puts pressure on the bolt while you're doing this. And the amount of pressure depends upon how the levers are reacting. Sometimes you need heavy pressure. Sometimes lighter pressure seems to work better. But that is what's happening inside the lock when you're picking it using a pick wire and a homemade tool. The second method I'm going to show you is using the 2-in-1 pick. And that's this right here. It has a tip that's made for the cruiser. You can see it's offset. Then you have a picking tip and a tensioning arm. So this would go in just like a tensioning tool, all the way to the back, rotated, and then engages in the bolt in that slot back there. So let's go in. We'll take it out and do it again. See the bolt, the tip of the 2-in-1 rotating up and engaging into the slot in the bolt. Now you apply tension. And this is the pick end, which lifts the levers up. Now the problem with this particular turning tool is that this tip is too thick. The levers are thinner than that, so this has a tendency of lifting 2 levers at once, so it's not necessarily a good tool, but it does occasionally work. And you can see how it lifts the levers. It slides up and down on the shaft, so you can go to each individual lever by pulling back on it. See how it's sticking, but they all won't stick. But ideally, that's what would happen. And the clicks you hear are usually the levers falling back down. They click the same way going up, getting into a false gate or into the true gate. If it gets into a true gate or a false gate, you can feel movement on the turning tool. But you don't know if you're in a true gate or false gate just then until you start picking the other levers and find that they're locked and they won't go up, and you have to release the tension start all over again. levers, like in the pin tumbler, a binding order, where the levers will bind by lifting the levers in a certain pattern. And you learn that just like you learn in the pin tumbler, after you open it, which levers you got to manipulate first in order to get the open. Go back out. So there are two methods of picking a Chubb Cruiser. And what inside of a Chubb Cruiser looks like. So I hope it was instructional and entertaining. But if you'd like to see some experts pick this, go to Brett Sucks, Lock Chuck, or Chris Capoon and watch them pick. They know what they're doing. But thanks for watching. Talk to you later.